I got a job.
Okay, hello everyone and welcome to Crusader Kings 3. Let me just bring up everything. Crusader Kings 3 Royal Court. So I've cleaned out all of my old saves and everything, so we have a fresh start. And given the poll that I had put up on my Twitter, it was a very, very resounding win for the Count of, or the Duke of Wales. Hello, Blue Cornflower. Yes, shiny new avatar. She is still a work in progress, but I managed to get her designed and developed for the stream on Saturday just gone. So this is what I now look like. Is that which program did I create this in? If so, this was in Vroid Studio. It's basically, I just wanted to get the absolute basics of an avatar done, and I'm hoping to develop and refine it like actually in Blender. So I've kind of got some bits of clothing done in Blender, obviously not to any detail. I've only just got like the basic mesh, but yeah, so the hair will probably be staying as it is, but I've got new textures for the eyes, got new skin texture planned, see if I can get a bit more definition in, and I'm going to be doing myself a probably small line of clothing so I can actually kind of have a bit of a different appearance now and again. Yes, thank you. I did like this hairstyle when I saw it. It's close enough to my 2D avatar, so I thought, yeah, I'll keep this as is. So we are playing, let me actually just bring up the Twitter poll just to make sure I can remember where it is, or remember what start date it was. Okay, so it was the year 867, and we're going to be playing in Wales. So I do have like 3 pronunciation guides up. I do have 3 pronunciation guides up, but I will apologise already if I mispronounce anything, because Welsh is not a language that I am even vaguely proficient or aware of the pronunciations of pretty much everything. So I think I've got most things like as a basic level. So obviously we've got Gwyneth, and yeah, so I'm probably going to be mispronouncing quite a lot of these things, but we are going to be playing as this character. So our goal is basically to, well, I think at least for the moment it is going to be uniting Wales and then seeing if we can pick off little bits of land from England as the Vikings come in and invade. So let me just have a look. So game rules. As much as I'd like to get some of the achievements, I think we're going to leave Iron Man disabled. Just because in case something happens, I want to be able to recover the save game. Hello Demon Emperor, Unite England 10-year speedrun, go go go. I appreciate the enthusiasm. Well, I guess we could always try. I'm not quite sure I'll be able to actually accomplish that, but thank you for the enthusiasm. So anyway, on this, I think I am going to keep everything pretty much by default, just because I find that obviously the easiest option. The end date will be 1453 if we even manage to get there. So culture conversion speed, faith conversion speed default. So divergent and hybrid culture cooldowns. So here we go. These are the new ones with the Royal Court DLC. So the default amount of hybrid cultures that will appear. So less common, none, and default. It would be nice if they actually like gave a percentage for that. Hybrid culture restrictions. So non-player created will be significantly restricted, relaxed, or very relaxed. Divergent culture frequency, once again less common and none, no actual statistics on that. And divergent and hybrid culture cooldowns, so cultures can only diverge after having existed for 100 years, and they can hybridize after existing for 50 years. Slower, so that's 200 and 100 respectively, or no cooldowns, or faster for 50 and 25. So yep, we'll just keep it all default. Prince Rodri of Gwyneth. Yep, let's just get started. So as per usual with Crusader Kings, we start off and we have an absolute ton of things to manage, including the fact that we have 8 children. So this is historical. He had 4 sons that the land all got divided up into. So our goal is to unite Wales as him, or failing that, one of his immediate children, because this dynasty did actually unite the Kingdom of Wales, but not for like 250 years. So our heir is unmarried, we need a lifestyle, and we are 2 above our domain limit as well. So let's go for the easiest one, and let's just choose Marshall. So what do we want? I think we will go for chivalry on that one, because that gives us a knight advantage, and that will hopefully give us a couple of benefits. So 2 above our domain limit, what can we do? And actually, you know, I'm going to quickly set the UI scaling. Just see something. Yeah, that looks better to me. Hopefully everything is showing up okay for everyone watching this. So anyway, we were 2 above our domain limit. So do we have castle, 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 and castle? Unfortunately. So no baronies or anything. Anything that is not really giving us money? Yes, there's 3 down here. So Paris, does anyone... that's what I'd prefer to kind of keep myself, honestly. And okay, so our son and heir, no genetic traits. Vengeful, ambitious, callous, 3-star skilled tactician, diplomat, and hoarder, 17 years old. Is our player heir, son, chancellor, and knight, so lots of responsibilities there. Our 15-year-olds, second son, third son, couple of daughters, another son, a legitimized bastard, and yet another son. Okay, so probably the first thing we want to focus on is going to war against you. Can we do not have a valid casus belli just yet, but we can change that with a few simple clicks. It looks like we do have a claim for this territory here. Yes, we do. There we go. So if we win... Ooh, that animation. That's a new little animation there. That's nice to see. So yes, I say that and point at the animation and my head's hiding everything. Okay, yes, give me 1 second and I will actually try and move myself over. Okay, hopefully that is a bit better. I'm not covering quite as much of the UI elements as before. So yes, we can see that little animation there. I'm covering the tooltip. Okay, I think that's just going to have to be how we manage it. So anyway, Blue Cornflower and Demon Emperor, how are you guys doing today? And that also extends to anyone in the chat that wants to pop by and say something. No obligations. If you just want to sit and listen, that is absolutely fine by me. So we were trying to look for a spouse for our son. So we want to look for women that are fertile and have an inheritable trait. Okay, yeah, my head is just, it's in the way here as well, so I'm just honestly going to move it back. Yeah, so I'd rather have it cut off the dates and things in the corner there than the other UI. And spouse speedrun! I'm trying! So we have got someone here who's beautiful, but unfortunately she is 2 years old, so that's a bit too long to wait. Anything else? We've got a 20-year-old here with robust, a 21-year-old here with beautiful. No one... Oh, I was going to say no one really with the genius trait, but she's 29. That's too old. That's too old, unfortunately. So I think, what do I want to prioritize? Because apparently in the patch notes they have changed a few things, and one of them is that the strength trait doesn't actually show up on any children until they are 20 years old. So we'll get that son married off. We will get you married off. Okay, good. That is already set there. So let's do age once again. So you are going to be the second in line, so we want to make sure that you still have a decent trait. Let's actually get you married off to this girl. Yes, and we want a matrilineal marriage for our first daughter, just because. Got someone with the hail trait. That's good. 14-year-old. Let's go for... Yeah, let's go for a couple of women who've got the fecund trait, which basically means that they will be more fertile and hopefully have more children. Who can we reasonably get you married or betrothed to. Whoops. Okay, now I'm wondering if I accidentally forgot to set the matrilineal one for that, but never mind. Okay, so 8 years old. Let's do you and you. And then let's do... Now, see, you're a legitimized bastard. So I think I'm going to do that. And then set your similar age brother to the one that is beautiful. Okay, there we go. 8 children, all married or betrothed in some manner. Blue cornflower, doing fine, thanks, hope you are too. Well, unfortunately got a little bit of a headache just as I started out here. So that is a little bit annoying. I've already taken some painkillers before anyone jumps in about that, and it honestly should go. So here we have the new court positions options. So court position, effects vary based on aptitude. And is this going to tell us what the aptitude... Okay, so from the looks of it, I think this is based on someone's learning skill. So court grandeur bonus and powerful agent in hostile schemes against you. So this is probably one of the people that you've got to make sure actually likes you. So because of that, we have our bishop, who is a mastermind philosopher, has whole of body, has 16 learning, and has an okay-ish opinion of us. So what does this say? If you choose to revoke this position later, it will cost you 200 prestige. Bishop Cadog loses 30 opinion and will stop endorsing us. Okay, well, we shall be fine with that. We can vassalize this person, though he will not accept under normal feudal obligations. So let's actually see. I'm going to say we don't want high, we want low. So start with low taxes and low levy contribution. So could we... So he is my rival. So just to actually even get him in court, because potentially your heir is your sister. Oh, okay. Right, your heir is his sister, who is my wife. And he is also homosexual. 42 years old, not married. So what are the odds that he would actually die, my wife would inherit, and then obviously because it's not a matrilineal marriage, all of the territory would just, you know, fall into my hand. And we do not have a valid casus belli on you either. So let's have a look at England and see how they are doing. So Mercia, similar military strength to us. And Wessex, superior. Northumbria, inferior. That is interesting. And Jorvik, the Jarl half-done white shirt, has 6,500, which this is pretty much the exact same situation as it is in Crusader Kings 2, where half-done white shirt starts off with a bunch of special soldiers to basically help him easily take over England. So he is going to be the main problem for us. Okay, so do we want to educate you? So you are focused on diplomacy, and unfortunately we are the best person to say yes. I am trying to select it. And you are marshal. Once again, yep, we are the best marshal. And diplomacy once again. And then this is slightly aggravating because we have almost too many children, actually. We have almost too many children. And you are diplomacy again, and oh my goodness, we've run out of people. Okay, so you're just going to be educated by your old brother. Okay, we could do that. Yes, declare wars. So we are aware of that one. And we could potentially declare war against Jarl Ivar the Boneless. We do have a claim for the Isle of Man, that looks like. So we would gain the contested title, but their military strength is vastly superior, so we don't want to do that. We do not want to do that at all. So this will take... Oops, that's not what I wanted. This will take... Oh, wait, 16 months. So hopefully we can unpause, see what happens. And, you know, maybe come in and snipe a bit of England, perhaps. Well, if we are able to get a casus belli on them. Now, what other things do we want to look at? So we don't have access to the royal court because we are not a king yet. We can make the Kingdom of Wales when we get... Let me just see. So this is de jure, part of the Kingdom of Wales. So we need one more county and 500 gold. So the gold's going to be a bit of an issue, at least at the moment, where we are gaining plus 3.3 a month. Though some of that is because we are probably above our domain limit. So while we are doing that, where do we basically want to... So this is giving us some tax, but I think we want to give it to someone else. So this is the Principality. And who do we want to give it to is a question. Like, we have no siblings or cousins that we can give it to. And because of our inheritance laws, it is obviously going to kind of be given down to potentially... Actually, no. Let's... I know you are... That's not the right one. Why can't I give... Oh, okay, apparently that's my realm capital there. Never mind. Okay, so we could give Powys. Or the Lordship of... And this is where I need a pronunciation guide. Okay, so... Let me just actually get that up. Okay, so... Okay, so short A... Okay, so and then Y is PH and G. Amwithic, I think. Amwithic. Okay. Yes, I am. Okay, Google Translate has Welsh and can read all of these things out for you. That is a good point. I mean, it's obviously nice to try and do it yourself, but yes, I'm not familiar with Welsh, so let me just see if I'm getting the pronunciation right at all.
Amwithic.
Amwithic. Okay, yep. I was doing that. Okay, so Amwithic. We could give that one out. And I just want to actually, before I do that, I just want to check that. So, duchy titles, that is... Okay, so that is part of Mercia. Okay, good. Yes, we can give that out absolutely fine. So congratulations, you are getting Amworthig. So he becomes our vassal and should... I was going to say he should love us, but no, he is a powerful vassal. So let's see, you want to be marshal. Unfortunately, our current marshal is, or considers himself a powerful vassal. Is he good at anything else? He's good at stewardship, but our steward is a powerful vassal. Is our steward good at anything else? No. Could our chancellor be moved to anything else? I mean, he could be moved to spy master, but then our spy master is really, really complex. And of course, with our wife, let's actually have a look at anything. So what could she be good at? She'd be good at helping us with military when we start getting into battles like that. And we still need to give away one more territory. So I think we may... Yes. So I think we'll give away this one. Okay, and this one has the double L that I was spending like 20 minutes trying to pronounce. So once again, let me just go to Google. Lovely, lovely Google Translate. Okay, Google Translate cannot do the double L. So it's Llandrindod. Llandrindod. Which I think Llandrindod. Let me just double check. Yeah, okay, I think I've got that. So I very much apologise if anyone here is Welsh and speaks Welsh, and I am horribly, horribly butchering the pronunciations, but I am honestly trying. Okay, so we don't want to give it to our son. Now, do you have anything good other than that? Okay, no. Okay, our marshal does already own land. So let's recruit you to court because you are a somewhat decent person. And we wanted to give you that one. Yes. Okay, there we go. We are under our domain limit. Although we are now only gaining plus 2.8. Oh no, that's up to 3 gold. And we've unpaused, so here come all the marriage, alliance, acceptances, and everything. Okay, I think that is it. We do have a couple of alliances from the looks of it. I'm not quite sure how many of these will actually be able to... Oh dear. Oh, whoops. Whoops, I accidentally allied ourselves to the Petty King of Wessex. Verdun, wherever you are, Verdun is... in Germany. Yes, there it is up there, or modern day Germany, I should say. Then we have... That looks French. Barony of Clevel. Okay, I was going to say, oh no, that is... Okay, yep, that is part of modern day France. And Harelberg. Oh, that's got to be, yeah, that's in Germany again as well. Okay, so we do have... we have an accidental alliance with the King or Petty Kingdom of Wessex, but that is good because that will help defend us against Mercia. You look very, very young for 27. You look very, very young. I don't quite know why, but anyway. Yes, so we want to... not ignore that, but we do want to hurry it up at least a little bit. And can I actually turn off edge scrolling, because that is slightly aggravating. Okay, at least not on a quick look anyway, so I'll just have to make sure that I remember that. So Mercia, defending against Halfdan White Shirt, but you are losing that majorly. And Ivar the Boneless, who wants to invade East Anglia. You're not at war with Wessex, so Wessex can't pull us in. And let me just have a look at Cornwall. Okay, nothing particularly spectacular about you, and you are inferior to us. So we could actually come down here and have a look at some of the Cornish culture. And speaking of, let's have a look at this, because I know this is like the one thing that I have been really looking forward to. So if you've seen any generic Crusader Kings 3 videos, not just my ones, then this will look very, very different. So our tradition and pillars, so we are stoic, which means we gain a small boost to our health, minus 15% stress gain, and minus 15% friendly fatal casualties, and all Welsh holdings will gain a defender advantage of +5. So this culture believes in standing strong like a mountain, taking any and all hardships that life may throw at them, and enduring them all with grim determination and an indomitable spirit. So we have Brythonic heritage, so +20 cultural acceptance baseline with cultures sharing this. The Brythonic language, so +10 cultural acceptance baseline with cultures sharing this language. Martial is men only, and Welsh aesthetics, so naming practices Welsh. Architecture and fashion are continental European. Coat of arms is Welsh, and military equipment is continental European. So we are poets. Poet trait has additional bonuses and is more common, and characters of this culture perform better when appointed to the court poet court position. Concubines, there we go. Highland warriors, rough terrain expert commander trait is more common, and some commander traits and personality traits have extra hill bonuses, and gain a decision to recruit hill commanders. So we get some bonuses there. And we have longbow competitions, because yeah, if there is one thing that the British Isles is really known for, it is longbowmen. So can recruit longbowmen as men-at-arms, and they get better, increasingly better every era. So unfortunately that does mean we have fewer spearmen and heavy cavalry regiments available to us, but it is boosted by the fact that we can have an increase of 2 archer regiments. So we could reform Welsh. That means we can establish a new tradition, and we have loads and loads and loads available. So we are not going to do that, because it will take us an absolute age to consider that. Okay, and obviously the innovations is still the same as it was. So we have a fascination for public works currently. And do we have anything that we are... Oh yes, onagers. Onagers? Onagers or onagers? Because I've heard people will say both. Say it both ways. So that's good. So we've got the onagers as our current exposure, and public works as our current fascination. So do I want that, or do I want something else? I think I'll actually change it to Gavelkind. It still means that it will take 61 years. but we'll grab that one and leave that for now. So tuition of this son finishes. He gained 3 stars, so that's not bad. Oh, okay, you two are already married. And I did see here we have an option to learn language. Attempt to learn Wilhelmina's High German language, improving the attitude of all who speak that language towards you. And current foreign language limit 0 out of 2. So here we go. Everyone has base of 1. Every 5 points of learning increases it by 1. Open-minded perk increases it by 2. Smooth operator perk increases it by 1. And the language scholar's dynasty legacy increases it by 1. So that looks interesting. So does that mean we actually have a dynasty option? Open legacies? Ah, there we go. Language scholars. There we go. This looks like a new one. So there we go. Learn language scheme power plus 20%. Can learn 1 additional language out without penalties. And gain 1% cultural acceptance when completing the learn language scheme. So, and that looks like... So, yep, you gain another one there. Cultural acceptance effectiveness plus 30%. Cultural fascination plus 15. Gain a weak hook when landing a new vassal of a different culture in the land of their culture. Respected traditions. Cultural acceptance gain plus 20%. Unlocks the cultural emissary court position. And side by side, which unlocks the celebrate other cultures decision. Yes, that looks very interesting. So we'll be hopefully going through that at some point. And we have our first granddaughter. Absolutely nothing of note about her. So we'll just leave her name as is. And that was actually a pretty quick marriage, seeing as I think we've only been a very quick pregnancy, considering I think we've only been married for like in a year, or playing for a year anyway. So we have a casus belli here, and let's actually just check on you. Okay, still not married, still no children. So let's have a look, just check. Military strength is vastly inferior to us. So yes, let's indeed declare war on you. And we want to go to our military thing and set up a new rally point here, just for convenience sake. And there we go, 2,000 troops versus 555. This is almost not a challenge. This is almost bullying, to be honest. So yeah, we can see here, oh, okay. So for a moment, obviously the light footmen were, or have had the advantage, but we had a couple of others that had higher advantage from them. And then we can see here the siege progressing. So we don't have any siege weapons because we haven't unlocked onagers yet. So this is Aberhon. Let me just check. Double D. That is the. A voiced the. Okay, so yes. Aberhon. I really, really hope I'm not going to get loads and loads of comments about this. So I would honestly hope that if people did comment, it would be to offer suggestions on how to improve the pronunciation rather than mocking me. Oh, okay, that was quick. We took our foe. Okay, so this is someone who is trying to seduce us. Like, she wants me. I can feel my body responding, awakening. But Anna rolled. Her husband and my son and heir is here tonight, so I don't think no. So we could say everyone will know her sinful thoughts, but no, we will not do that just because we want to actually keep her nice. So there we go. We have a new realm, or we have a new county in our realm. And Cadell, 3-star education, not bad. Not bad at all. So we want to disband our troops, and that is once again in a new county. So we want to grant this to whoever has the highest stewardship, who is not currently... Yep, there we go. So the highest stewardship person who has not got any land at the moment. There we go, you two are married as well. I can create the Kingdom of Wales, but we don't have enough gold yet. So we do have a claim here, but we can only press 1. Powerful vassals expect a council position. Okay, let's see if anyone has changed their minds on how powerful they think they are. So yes, our marshal now no longer considers himself powerful. Oh my goodness, okay, you have massively increased your stewardship. Wow, okay. Let's have a look at our steward. What can you be swapped around to? Not really anything. That's an annoyance. Is anyone any good at anything else? Okay, so our Chancellor could become Marshal. Which I think... Yes, okay, so we'll swap you two around. Then we'll say goodbye to our Marshal. And put in place Madog. Yes, because he considers himself powerful. Bishop, looks like you are basically set to rule for life, for lack of a better term. And unfortunately, yeah, the other two positions that are really there, and I can't really get, I can't really afford to annoy someone to put him on the council. It's like, that's one thing that I do miss from Crusader Kings 2, is that there was the advisor position when you were like a higher or when you had a high enough title, because then you could put some powerful and important vassals. Actually, what am I saying? We have important things. We have our new options for Royal Court. So, oh, we actually do have prisoners as well. How much gold? Nope. You're not worth any gold, apparently. And you're not worth any gold either. Okay, that's not good. Ugh. Fine. You can leave. You can all leave. Okay, so court positions. So we can get an antiquarian. So artifact decay reduction doesn't matter for us at the moment because we don't have any artifacts, being the fact that, well, we're only a duke. Hello, Parsin. How are you doing today? You feeling any better? Court tutor. So we only really have average people. And would also unlock the have child study language. So if we wanted someone to be able to teach our children a different language, say English, we could use that. Seneschal, control growth, plus 0.1 to plus 0.5. Court jester, grandeur change, which again doesn't really work. We could get obviously a couple of bodyguards and a personal champion. Yeah, we don't really have any good options there. Food taster, so I think this is, yes, we need to be a king. Same with master of the horse, master of the hunt, royal architect, high almoner, cup bearer. Yep, kingdom once again. Court poet. No one actually meets the requirements. That's interesting to note as well. And yes, kingdom, court musician, kingdom, and executioner, kingdom. Though that is very interesting there. The character... My head's in the way again. Okay, I'm going to read it. Okay, so executioner. So dread gain plus 5% to plus 25% based on aptitude. Dread decay -5 to -25%. Can publicly execute prisoners for increased control and popular opinion. And the character's crimes are forgiven. So that there, the character's crimes are forgiven, is a very, very interesting thing. So basically you're saying to someone that, like, yes, I forgive you for any crimes or misdeeds you've done, but you will have to work as the public executioner. Passing, I can't say so. Stop taking medication because you felt guilty of having treatment and condition is now worse. Oh no. Oh. Yeah. Oh. Oh, I won't delve too deep into discussion on that if you don't want to. Obviously, the Discord's up and you can have a chat there or ping me in a private message if you want to. But yeah. Yeah, that's always one of the issues when it comes to like antidepressants, because you always kind of risk feeling that you're getting better, so you think that you don't need the medication or you should be able to manage without it. And unfortunately, you stop your medication and kind of end up, well, with a few problems. Oh, this could be interesting for us. So the war against the tyranny of Prince Hoel. Hoel. And our daughter has come of age. She's got 4 stars. I was going to say that's good, but obviously it's... Okay, so I know one of you knows English. So we could learn language and learn Anglic. So yes, 44%. There we go, started learn language. Yeah, oh, glad to see me. Streams are always a good event. Yeah, hopefully they are entertaining even if they're not generally that successful on occasion. But hopefully here we're in Wales, we have a good start, we can become the king when we have enough money, so we should be protected from a few things. And at the very least, the Vikings in England and the Vikings in Ireland will keep things divided and attention focused away from us. Okay, so an unworthy challenge. Peter seemed no threat at first. He would be unable to stop his wild and vicious strikes from hurting me. Okay, so this looks like a random... Is that coat of arms meant to look like that? Because that looks half finished. If I'm honest, that looks half finished. So he does have 18 prowess. He's brave, wrathful and diligent. Yes, I will apologise because I do still need to hover over the traits. Some of them I can kind of recall from Crusader Kings 3, Crusader Kings 2 rather, but some of them I still need to get to learn. Blue cornflower, you take antidepressants as well. At the lowest dose, can't get off because when I tried it, your back pain got worse. Side effect of pain suppression. Oh, yeah, I can imagine that is, yeah, a slight issue. Believe me, well, thankfully not anymore, but I was on a situation where it's like, I was taking, like, this medication and this medication and this medication, and then I also had to take this other medication to stop the side effects of this first medication. And it's, can be a bit ironic sometimes that you need to take some medication just to combat the side effects of a different medication you're taking. Yeah, well, a couple of decades of joking that I was the only one in my family that didn't need to take medication, and yeah, I'm kind of paying the price now because, like, there was one point where it's like, or both of my parents, my aunt, my granddad, my sister, my cat. My cat was on medication, my boyfriend was, and it was just like, yeah, I'm the only one that doesn't need to actually take any tablets. Though, speaking of that, actually that has reminded me that I actually need to take my medication. Well, rather than a like stay hydrated thing, I probably need an alert that goes, "Have you taken your medication today?" Because honestly, I forget so easily, and one of them is my antidepressant, which means it's not good if I forget it. Okay, so anyway, so do we want to recruit this person? So he will join our court, get a lecture on honour, or strike him down where he stands. You know what? I've already got one person who has albinism in my court. Let's say we can use more people like you, and hopefully he has already... Yep, he is already become one of our knights. Good, good, good. And our knights are super powerful because we've got the chivalric dominance option. Greetings, my perceptive liege. For years, my skill in record keeping and finance has served me well. So we have a 38% chance of increasing our stewardship by 2, or 61% chance of getting +3 stewardship, but only for 5 years. Yeah, you know what, we'll take it. Okay, yep. Got the finance lessons options. Blue Cornflower, probably a free phone app to remind you. Yeah, but the problem with that is I kind of see it and I go, it's like, oh yes, I need to do this. I dismiss it and then I forget anyway. So we pass in. You also feel pain. Like, some unfortunate thoughts didn't let you take medications normally. Your girlfriend came on the scene like a prince on a white horse. Makes you take your meds and informs your therapist. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna say yes, that's a good thing, because it obviously reminds you to do those things and reminds you that there is someone there that does care about you, even if at the time it can feel a bit... I'm just trying to think of the right word. Empathizing isn't the right thing, but it's kind of like, I'm an adult, I should know how to do all this myself. I don't need you reminding me, but yeah. Like I said, borderline ADHD anyway, so I kind of need the reminders. So, this war ended. What happened? Oh, okay, so that did change over. Oh, that's a shame. It's a shame, because I'm not quite sure we can actually... Yeah, so we've only got the claims, and it looks like we've honestly lost the option to... Yeah. Yeah, he's obviously been imprisoned, land's been taken away from him. So unfortunately we've kind of lost our option to vassalize him. But in a short while we should be able to form the Kingdom of Wales and kind of do a forced vassalization thing on it anyway. And yeah, he'll pass in, have some great people in your life so it helps to stay afloat. Yes. Yes. And I know, at least for me as well, I've obviously got my husband and I've also got my cat. It's a bit difficult to stay in bed all day when your cat comes up and starts meowing at you for food. And of course, once you've got up, it's kind of like, well, okay, I'm up. I might as well do X, Y, and Z. And then my cat will potentially come down and lump over, start purring and being all cute and adorable. So restart education and we will arrange... Oh, no, we don't want to arrange a marriage. Okay, they've already got married anyway. And yes, have you recovered from the dreaded... Well, I was going to say the dreaded C word. That's not quite what I mean. Blue Cornflower, stupid cute kitties. Yes, he is ridiculously cute. I'm not sure if I've actually shared any photos of him, but he is just the biggest fluff monster at all. Okay, so there's a hunter at the local tavern. You are a fair way from home, buddy. So, organised Jewish faith and Radnite culture. That's interesting. So we gain, or we have gained more vigilant. And that is just a bit of intrigue and power against things. So we'll just say thank you for letting us know, because it is not anything that is urgent to us at the moment. Oh dear. That's not good. Oh, great. So somehow, despite our son not having any genetic traits and our daughter having robust, our second granddaughter has somehow got the stupid trait. So -4 all around. Great. I better just hope that they have a decent son, because otherwise it's just going to be this generic kid who is in prison for some reason. Oh, right, because we got raided. Okay, anyway, yes. Yes. So can we... ransom? Oh, there we go. It's right down the bottom. Or 25 gold. Ugh, unfortunately. Well, we must have our child. Okay, our heir is first in line to inherit this. Oh, actually, our wife did get some territory. Sorry, I was so focused on that, I've missed a couple of things on the chat. Pass in. Think you're great people. Almost don't know you. Words and behaviour look wise and kind. And COVID symptoms, almost still a bit coughing. Yeah, like Blue Cornflower says, I hope you do recover soon. And thankfully, the way it sounds that you didn't have too bad symptoms, hopefully. I would just say that. And yeah, we'll pass in. You are like with people who have similar experiences and similar stories to you in terms of depression and things. So yeah, you're in good company, and that is kind of what I want from like my streams and community, just to be able to have a fun, safe place together where we can talk about things like that and, well, get support and uplift each other. Okay, and our third son has had a son. Nothing special, but we won't actually know. Potentially. So yeah, like I was saying, the Hale, Robust and Herculean / Amazonian traits don't actually, or won't show up until children are 5 years old. So these two children could easily have that trait and we wouldn't know about it. So we're passing, can't go outside for quarantine. Have to call the doctor, but all doctors are busy right now, so nobody can come here. Yeah. Yep. Just the times we're kind of living in for the moment. Okay, so this guy, our steward, because he got a weak hook on us, he's now basically saying that we want to use that hook to lower our feudal vassal obligations, and we unfortunately can't do anything. So we need to appoint a court physician, because our last one actually just died. So can we actually not search for one anymore? Let me have a quick look. Pause the game while I do that. Oh yeah, there we go. We can search for a physician. So start the search and see if we get anyone who is good. We could develop the capital, though we will gain 88 stress, which is a, yeah, quite a good chunk of money. And we could also get a high martial commander with the rough terrain expert to join our court. How is our stress anyway? Pretty much non-existent, so we should be fine. And also, one of the things that we have here is the new inventory screen. So this takes, well, I say some influence from Crusader Kings 2, but obviously they are developed by the same people, so naturally there would be some kind of crossover between them. So the one thing that has changed is that we do actually equip some of the artifacts into specific slots rather than it just being a right click and equip thing. So we can search through all. We've got crown, regalia, armor, weapons and trinkets, and we can sort by acquisition date, creation date, type, rarity, durability or name. And we also have this up here, the antiquarian, just in case we forget we don't have anyone for that. So commission art. Oh, okay, we actually need an antiquarian to be able to hire a local artisan. And we don't have any artifact claims at all, and we have no court artifacts either. Okay, so who is the best person? Okay, well, I guess we are appointing you. You are average. So artifact decay reduction by 17%. And that is probably going to cost a ridiculous amount of money, so I'm not going to do that just yet. We are not endorsed by our bishop. I guess that was our old court position. Wait. Oh, I was going to say, did my wife die and I wasn't notified? But no, because she's in a different court. Okay, well, it's a good thing that we are well over the age to be having any children. If I really wanted to, I could try and find some concubines, but with 8 children, I think our heritage is secure. So my servants have inquired for recommendations for a court position. So I'm going to go click on this person first, because the right hand most one usually is the one that is least or less capable, I should say. So 8 learning, no physician traits whatsoever. 9 learning, naive appeaser, so not even a learning education, but he is a 3-star renowned physician. He's also unfortunately a drunkard, but yes, we will hire him. We will pay 50 gold and he will actually be employed straight away as a court physician. So children lack guardians. Let's honestly just do this again. Let's just pick ourselves. And we can unlock a new martial perk. And this is basically telling us that we have all of our children can claim things. So powerful vassals expect court positions. Is this one? Okay. I was wondering what that one is. Okay, yeah, I've already seen that. Thank you, game. Probably would have been best to ping that up when we actually started. Okay, so our spy master now no longer thinks he is powerful. Is our steward good at anything else? No, he is not. So I think, Pattern, I am going to appoint you. Oh, okay, so our marshal just died. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear. Okay, this is not a good start. So our wife has been murdered, and our marshal, who was our eldest son, has now left court because he's basically gained that territory, which means that he is considered an independent ruler because that is the same level title as what we have. Oh dear. Oh dear. So we only gained 22 stress for our wife dying. Anyway. So yes, that is not good at all. So unfortunately, our steward... Oh... Okay, well I'm going to have to put you in as Marshal. And I really don't want to change up our Spy Master for someone who's even worse. Okay, so marriage. We basically want infertile. And we want to sort by what is our worst, or what is our lowest level is learning. So let's just see what we have available. And probably seeing as our wife has been murdered, we want to consider someone that's got pretty high intrigue as well. So do we have anyone that is half decent? Okay, no one that seems to be absolutely amazing. She seems to have mostly good stats. No, actually, I'm going to change my mind on that. Yeah, let's go for you. And I can obviously negotiate an alliance with my son and heir. So there is an option when we do die that will actually... That's a duchy title that will go to our... Yep, second son. And then that's our third son. That's a county title. That's our fourth son. That's back to our first one. Then that's our... What's our fifth son? And then that's back to third son. So yes, this is one of the perils of having a few too many children. Let me just say that. So how goes Wessex? Apparently we do not have an alliance with you anymore. Military strength is similar and your strength is inferior, but we cannot declare war. We can... Ooh. We can request a claim from the Pope and he will actually accept. So unfortunately, Mercier is only a duchy title, so we'd want to avoid that until we are actually a kingdom level title ourselves. Unfortunately, that is probably going to take quite a while. Oh, I was going to say, I swear I got ourselves married again. So let's go up to manage domain and just try and get that tiny little bit of extra amount of gold back up. So unfortunately I'm going to have absolutely no control over our eldest son. Now I do have options, so I can, because I am the head of the dynasty, I can disinherit. It is going to cost me 150 prestige and 75 renown, so I can do that to just 2 children. So my studies of the Anglic language have reached the ears of Reeve Oswin, native speaker, offering to help me. So we can pay 50 gold, a favour for a favour. We can do an intrigue challenge, saying it's like, oh, you are so selfless helping me. And I can say thank you, but I can manage on my own because I'm both diligent and impatient. So we don't really want to pay 50 gold. Let me just... Yep, there we go. Cajole Oswin into helping us. That is nice to see. Yes, indeed. So we're getting a bit of help on that one. So we're still only at 49%, which is slightly unfortunate. And okay, apparently the patch notes weren't actually 100% correct, because this grandson we can actually see has the hail trait, which is a shame it's not robust, but it's better than nothing. We just have to make sure that it's not going to be any issues with inbreeding. So kill our son. Is it bad to say that I'm not overly caring? Because he's a legitimized bastard. We have no idea who his mum was. Apparently he was just left on our doorstep with a note saying that he was ours. And he's not exactly betrothed to anyone with some amazing stats either. Okay, and let's actually do a grandkid roundup. Okay, so nothing particular, nothing... Oh, no, that's a different one. That's Branwen. Okay, so this is our daughter. Goodness, we've got a lot of kids. We've got a lot of kids, haven't we? There we go, there she is. Okay, and she's gained the trait, or she has the trait pretty, which is one step down from her dad, but not bad. Oh, okay, and there was the other one that appeared. So pretty much actually almost 14th of July. And look at that. 2 cousins born on exactly the same day. And yes, just Crusader Kings things indeed, but it's still... it still feels a tiny bit mean saying it. Have I played RimWorld? Yes, that is actually one of the games that I would like to showcase on stream at some point. Heavily modded, of course, because that's how I roll. But yes, I have played RimWorld. I got it, oh goodness, back way before it was on Steam. As like Alpha 12D or something, so I can't quite remember how many years ago that is, but I've got that. I have the Royalty DLC, I have the Ideology DLC. I will probably be buying whatever DLC is coming up next. People are saying it's going to be something relating or beginning with W, because it's basically going across. We're going to have a DLC for every single letter of RimWorld, and they're going to spell out RimWorld when you put them all together. So Blue Cornflower, I think just RimWorld things are worse. Yeah, well, when you honestly have an option to butcher actual human people and get meat and leather out of them, it's... yeah, that's a little bit bad. So we've... Eadprith, one who I'm striving to emulate, has started sending correspondence. I've gotten several letters where he lauds my efforts to learn his language, calling them both respectable and admirable. So I can get the scribes to send word back. 15 opinion, goes closer to forming a friendship, but we do gain 44 stress because we're ambitious. So learn language gains progress, plus 15 opinion, and gain 110 stress because we're impatient. So we could lose 15 opinion and gain 150 prestige. What does he think of us? Yes, let's send word. And while we are a little bit stressed, I know it's spending money, but we will go on a hunt. And pass in. What about just Dwarf Fortress things? Yes. I'm pretty sure I've said this before, but Crusader Kings, RimWorld, and Dwarf Fortress are the holy trifecta of, oh my lord, I can't believe I'm saying such things, simply because of what they, or what you can do in the games. Okay, so this is the Not Shrek event. Not Shrek. So as we ride deeper into the lordship of Penlun, rather, the ground grows wetter and the air grows heavier. Explain yourself. What are you doing in my marshland? Blue Cornflower, yes, Dwarf Fortress should be free outside of Steam. The one that's on Steam is, I believe, is probably going to be paid for because it has a, like the, not cosmetic pack, but It's ASCII based art on its own. So let me just, yep. And yep, download Dwarf Fortress Classic version 0.47.05, January 28th, 2021. So yep, so there you go. That is Dwarf Fortress. And yes, tile sets. Thank you. Yes, that is the word I was trying to figure out, because it's the, oh, because obviously it's ASCII art, but there are options and mods to actually give it graphics. So yes, tile sets is probably what I'm thinking of. So anyway, back to this. Your marshland, show us around. So we can get local guide for 10 years, which gives us +2 to our prowess and 500 stewardship. Diplomacy challenge, so we can get listen to local concerns, but we could potentially lose 75 prestige because it's roughly a 50-50 thing. Or we could go, here's something to hunt, and we get killed locals. Blue cornflower, get out of my swamp. Well, I mean, in this one, it's, what are you doing in my marshlands? Okay, yeah, let's go for that one, because that will give us a few points in stewardship. We can't really do anything about it because we are focusing on martial at the moment, and apparently I completely missed that we had a spare martial point. So we finished the hunt, we gain 150 prestige. So basically, other than finding someone stomping around claiming that we were in his territory, that is pretty much all that happened. And yes, I know about court positions as well, thank you. So we have 3 years. 3 years to go back to Demon Emperor's goal of trying to unite England in 10 years. A 10-year speedrun. Nope, I don't think that is going to happen, but nevertheless. So, Idwal, what he thought. So you can keep the trait temperate, which is +2 stewardship. That is very good for you considering you are on a stewardship education anyway, and it is virtuous, so you would get some bonuses to that. We could try and nudge you over to just, which would decrease your intrigue, or we could turn you cynical, which no. So I think we will just go for overreaching can be terribly dangerous. Blue cornflower, what does the third option do? I'm sorry, you're going to have to give a bit of context on that because I'm not 100% sure what you're referring to. Ooh, learn language, the lure of poetry. This could be good, especially seeing as our culture. Oh, how do you show him how little God cares? It's kind of, or a bit of flavor text from the sounds of it, but it's, I presume, kind of just tell him that it's like, yeah, God, well, God is basically above caring for any things like this, because cynical is one that basically kind of means you look at religion with a skeptical eye. So perhaps I could try my hand at poetry. So 43% gain the trait poet, 57% can't rhyme to save your life, and gain 66 stress because we're impatient. Maybe I should recite a romantic poem for my wife. So wife gains 20 opinion of you and gain 44 stress. Or yeah, let's just say I'm studying because 43% chance of getting the poet trait versus getting all that stress is not what I really want to go for. And there we go, I thought so. So, my son has died, killed by his oldest brother. So, oh dear, murderer and kinslayer. So actually, let me just... settings. UI scaling. What is... Okay, I've got it. Okay, I can see what happened. Okay, I can see what happened there. I couldn't quite make out that image, but that is basically a tree that's been cut in half. I thought the little branches may have been like nails or something, which was why I was a bit uncertain. We know exactly who killed Idwal. It was his oldest brother, Anaward. We know exactly who killed him. So unfortunately, he's now got the murderer and kinslayer things. Yes, it was a plot from the looks of it, indeed. So unfortunately, that gives us a little bit of stress because we are not supposed to outlive a son, or outlive a child anyway. So now the thing is... Yeah, okay, so the alliance with one of the people on the continent has died. No, the alliance has expired because the child that I had betrothed his child to has died. Okay, so this is this is our marshal. The recruits under his command resemble a disorganized mob more than an army. So teaching what I know, we can gain 100 martial lifestyle experience, and Pattern will make a decision based on his personality. If he accepts, he will gain increased martial by 1 and 20 opinion, and if not, he will lose 10 opinion. Cheer him up, which we will gain 44 stress because we're impatient, or chastise him for his failure. No, we'll teach him. There we go. Okay, yeah, he didn't take our advice into consideration. So we're making some good headway on the... Ooh. Okay, let's just have a look what's going on down here. A Jarl saw Storkvir in a Northman army conquest of the Duchy of Munster. Oh, right. Okay, so that's actually nothing really to do with us. That's taking over a bit of Ireland. So, Merfun, greatness awaits you. So he keeps ambitious, which is, ooh, that is dangerous for a child so low down on the succession line. We could give him sadistic, which is sinful to Catholics. We can say this was a test, in which case he would gain paranoid. So he is going for a learning, any of that? Nope. So ambitious, yeah, okay, we'll keep ambitious. So Merfun, yeah, so you are basically like last in line. Unfortunately for you, kid. Unfortunately for you. Okay, so your wife is pregnant. So I wonder if I disinherit him after this child is born, if this child is a boy, I presume that doesn't mean the child would be disinherited, but the child would be disinherited if I disinherited him now before the baby is born. And apparently you two have not been interested in each other at all. You two have had 2 children, neither of them remarkable in any way. You have had 1 child, no more. One child. You are not yet old enough to have any. Okay. So we have a few family members, but still. Learn language, libertine literature. As I'm reading loudly from the Anglic book that Reeve Edfrith sent me a while back, I notice a whole host of servants snickering at me. Please don't stop reading, the servants giggle. He was just about to show his amorous lips. We need to know if the prince and the page end up together, or if that lecture gets between them again. Am I reading something lewd? By the blood. So, guards rid me of this blasted book. They spend 150 prestige, but courtier and guests will like us for 10 plus 10 for 10 years. So this character has entertained their court with interesting loud reading. You dare laugh at me, flog them all, lose 150 prestige but gain 20 dread. Or we could say, oh well, I suppose it is educational in a sense. So we can get the trait. So we could get the trait erotic novel connoisseur. The scheme power +5 and scheme success chance +5%. So I will actually say something of this. So, like, loud reader, I believe for actually quite a long time, it was considered very, very bizarre to actually read silently. So, if you were, like, well, not necessarily in a library, but kind of like if you were in a monastery and people were reading, you would hear them, like, reading out loud as they went along. To read silently was just considered absolutely bizarre. Okay, so we'll say, like, okay, I guess it is educational in a sense. Because, I mean, it is. Where is it? Oh, goodness. Okay, it's not actually there. Huh. Anyway. Okay, it's not actually there, but nevertheless. I'm sorry, I just can't get that out of my head that he was accidentally reading a bit of a lewd book. And Tudwell has come of age. 4-star education. And, okay, you are just ill. What does by the blood mean? It's just kind of, it's, I wouldn't necessarily say a generic expression, but it's kind of like, just a bit like saying, oh my god, or like, it's just basically a general exclamation of disbelief. I'm not sure if it has any specific meaning or anything like that. So after lots of hard work, nothing. It's impossible to learn the Anglic language. You guess the blood refers to the blood of Christ? It could be that, yes, it could be. So I speak like a barely weaned babe and write like an unlettered blind serf who's missing most of their fingers. So I admit defeat, so we end our scheme. Or we can, let's say, no, I need to start over and do it right this time. So we are diligent but also impatient. So I'm not actually quite sure. There's like, he doesn't shy away from hard work, but he thinks that most things should happen fast and ideally they should happen now. So actually I'm going to open this up to chat for the moment for quick consideration. So, given that we are diligent, also consider that we are ambitious and impatient. Should we say that learning the Anglic language is honestly beyond us and we should give up? Or do you think that we should press forwards with our attempts to learn the Anglic language? Blue Cornflower, he only speaks Welsh. Yes, this is one of the changes that has come through with the Royal Court DLC, in that basically Anglic is Old English. Yes it is. So we can see here that our character knows, or what's called the Brythonic language, so that's like the language group. And if we come over here to someone, so Anglo-Saxon, and we have the Anglic language. Okay, Blue Cornflower, you say you're fine either way. Uparsin, you would want to try again. So, okay, we are going to start over. We are unfortunately going to get a critical amount of stress. So we have options to reduce that. We can gain the trait Rakish and basically go and visit the brothel, lose 33 stress, which I think would be enough. Oh no, oh my goodness, okay, nope. We'd need to lose 100 stress, okay. Oh no, actually, no, I'm reading that wrong. Am I? Okay, I may be reading that wrong. So a trip to the brothel, in which case we would gain the trait Rakish. So -1 diplomacy, +1 intrigue, 20%, +20% stress loss. But general opinion is down, but other Rakish characters like us more. Perhaps a new view of God will help me. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa! Convert to Nestorianism? What? I don't... Yeah. Does Nestorian even exist? Does Nestorian even exist? And if so, bloody hell, where? Okay, other faiths. Nestorianism. Okay, yes, it does exist. Where? Where? Like, apparently there are 6 counties. Oh, here we go. Okay, I can see some of them. Okay. So there is one. There is the second one. Yeah, it's basically all over the place. Like, there's a holy site of it in India. Okay, so there's there, one in India. Where are all of your holy sites? There's another one there in Fars. Okay, Middle East. Jerusalem, of course, Antioch, and Baghdad. How did Christianity get over there? That is a good question. I mean, it could honestly just be something like this, where the game's picked out a random religion. This is a few centuries prior to what I know of, but I do know that the Portuguese, like, there was quite a load of Portuguese trade and what's the words? Basically, a load of Portuguese people came over to India, started up businesses and such, and of course they brought Christianity with them. So there are some pockets of India, even like modern day, that actually do hold quite strong Christian beliefs. But that, like, I'm talking, that is like the 16th, 17th century, so a few centuries ahead of where we are at the moment. So no, we will not convert to Nestorianism, especially seeing as we will only lose 15 stress. I will bite thy lip and try to stay focused. So actually, you know what, we'll go to the brothel. Yeah. Oh, like I said, is that I know how Christianity came to India in a few centuries' time, but Why on earth it's all up here, I have no idea. Can I not actually... Let's say I want to go down to the little... Like the little... Yeah, Nestorianism. Oh, here we go. It actually has something in the description. In teaching that Jesus Christ has two natures, one divine and one human, Nestorianism has been declared as heretical by most Christian faiths. Despite this, its unique outlook has garnered followers in places as far east as China, India, and even Mongolia. So this may be a historical thing where you have like little pockets of Nestorianism this far east. That would be interesting. I might actually look that up after the stream just to see, because that is quite a curious thing to just happen. Obviously, we have trade and everything. The Silk Road, I think we're still like, that is still a fair time away, but there is still obviously trade and information and travel between the countries, so it wouldn't surprise me if Christianity made it that far. Okay, so the chaos of battle. So meet the assault head on, or I will withdraw for a moment. Well, that one's giving us negative stress. Yes, sorry, the year, yes. Unfortunately, in this game, there's not really a good place for my camera, so we are currently in the year 875. So we're quite early. So we are quite early. So we are basically, at least in like the corner of Europe we are in the British Isles, we are very, very much deep in the Viking Age. Yep, AD 875. Well, 876 now, but yes. Hello, Ollie. Ollie's just come and jumped on the cat tree that's in the study, or in our like home office area, and he's just looking at me. So our grandson, once again, nothing of interest that we can particularly see. So we have the option for our first dynasty legacy. So we could go for language scholars, which would allow us to learn one extra language, but seeing as we are struggling with Anglic at the moment, I think we may be able to leave that off. House of Warriors gives us +2 prowess and +15% knight effectiveness, which is, you know what, okay. Mostly fair, nope. Ominous reputation, nope. Noble veins, maybe. Vibrant court, maybe when we actually get a court marriage acceptance. Of course, it's like quite interesting that most of these have a kind of mirror in the like educational focus ones. So I will go for noble veins. Chance of inheriting good congenital traits is up 30%, and chance of new good congenital traits is also up 30%. So I usually start at architected ancestry, select a congenital trait to become more common, because I don't really tend to go for octogenarianisms. Life expectancy +5. Hey there, Lion Shark. Oh my goodness, it's been a long time. How have you been doing? But yes, the fact that we are in the British Isles is not a bias for me. I did put up an honest and genuine poll on Twitter, and starting as Wales in 867 won by like 8 votes to 1. Okay, and another grandchild. Okay, so you have the comely trait, which is 2 steps down from beautiful. That is slightly unfortunate. So yes, just to give a bit of introduction, Lion Shark was someone that was around when I very first started streaming. Haven't seen you in a good number of months, so I hope everything has been going well for you in your life, and I'm glad to actually see you back. We are still, unfortunately, a long way away from getting that Kingdom of Wales title. We have the Daily counties we need, but we don't even have half. The Wikipedia page on Nestorianism says a Persian proselyte named Alopen brought Nestorian Christianity to China in 635. That is very interesting. That must have been quite a long journey for them. Lion Shark, had to go back to in-person learning, so I wasn't able to see your streams. Okay, yeah, that's understandable. Obviously, I have seen you, like, around in the Discord. I've seen you online there. So how has all of your in-person learning been going on then? I imagine it's kind of, well, February now. How have things been going? So, the gift of generosity. My son Merfun has been impressed with one of the household knights. So he has the generous trait already, so +3 diplomacy. Taught that hard work always produces results, so we could push him towards diligent. That would actually give him quite a lot of bonuses, though it would mean that his stress loss is halved, or we could tell him to be patient. I think it will give him patient because that will go along best with his learning. Lion Shark, been going very well. Got student of the month in your district for January 2022. Wow. Wow, congratulations on that. I can imagine the amount of hard work and effort that would have taken. Honours breakout is hard, yeah. I can imagine that as well. Some of the higher level mathematics stuff can be super complex. I remember struggling with a fair few things, but then when I got to matrix mathematics, I don't know what it was about it, but that just like settled nicely in my brain, and I was just able to speed through all of those things. College acceptances are super slow. Is that because of like the general state of the world, or is it something different and something specific to what you're applying for? So, although if you're willing to disclose, like, what are you thinking about studying for college? Any specific areas, any like kind of colleges that you're aiming for? Because I know in the US you don't have to declare what you're going to study for quite a while, unlike here in the UK where you actually have to declare what you are going to study before, like when you actually send out your applications. Communications at Syracuse. Well, I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed for you and hope that you very much get there. So yeah, or university like education and acceptance in the UK. I kind of knew exactly what I was going to, well, which university I was going to go to from a reasonably young age. So when we actually got to do all of the university applications, it was basically bring home a big book with all of the courses and everything that this university offered, scrolled through to find the right section, and carefully read every single degree on offer. And then I found one and I went, yep, I'm doing that. I am not disclosing it because if you actually search my full degree, then the only results that come up are the specific university that I went to, and I could basically count on how many I could basically count on one hand the number of people in my year that graduated with that degree. So With a bit of luck, you could actually find me. So I'm not going to disclose it. Upasin, you can't say your university was good, but you miss it. Yeah, well, I miss university in the sense of just being able to learn and be exposed to all the new things. I can't say I miss it when it comes to like taking all the exams and doing all of the coursework. Line Shark gotten 2 financial offers from 2 lesser choice universities. Super expensive. The leftover cost is like 30 grand a year. Oof. Yeah. Yeah. That is... yeah. So Syracuse, you are based in New York State, I believe. So Syracuse University would be like in-state tuition costs for you. And I presume from the fact that it's like 30 grand a year for the other ones, I presume Syracuse would be something kind of like 5 to 8 grand more for you. Going back to actually what we are doing, so we can say challenge accepted, prowess challenge 50-50. So we would gain at least 50 martial lifestyle experience, or we could say I'd rather not, but we lose prestige. So challenge accepted. Do I speak Welsh? No. No. So when I saw that the Wales start for the poll was getting ahead, I kind of went, oh crap, I need to get some pronunciation guides up. Okay, so we've lost the duel. So we can either say I yield, well fought, or only cowards surrender. We only have a 33% chance of actually winning. We've got a 66% chance of gaining the trait wounded. So yes, I will just say I yield. So yes, I've got like 3 tabs open for I've got like 3 tabs open for Welsh pronunciation guides. And yes, as Blue Cornflower said, Google Translate can also sometimes read out the words. It struggles with the Welsh double L though. And yes, I'm English. Like English with some vague Irish ancestry way, way back. Because my last name is Irish, so... that is pretty much... yeah. Yep. Pure, plain, white bread English here. Nothing amazing. Let's actually go for hit and run. And seeing as we saw that men-at-arms thing, I am just curious. So yes, we do have an option to have 7 regiments of bowmen. We can get 5 of light footmen and 5 of light horsemen. And then we've also got all of our options here. So let me just have a look. Okay, so we do obviously have bowmen, pikemen are probably going to be useful, but we need to save money for the Kingdom of Wales. Okay, so Spymaster has come to me with grave news. So someone's plotting to kill Tudwal. So the one good thing is that for Welsh, about 80% of the phonemes are as they are in English. There are a couple that are a bit different, but honestly, Welsh, once you can actually remember the pronunciations for things, it is like, it's not like English or even French where you have silent words and everything. It is very much, it's said as it's spelt. So someone is planning to kill him. I think I might know who that is. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to preemptively go to my council. Spymaster. So disrupt schemes, can I not actually put you... Okay, I don't think I can actually find secrets. So where is... Okay, our sun is here. So 85% chance of learning a secret. Okay, so we'll put our stewardship, our spy master there. And okay, yes. So this is Older Lord Anna Ward Ap Rodri, as that is pronounced mostly. University was a way to medical science and communication. You could do your own research, participate in others, take part in conferences. Possibilities were really great, even if I sometimes had to hear quasi-scientific nonsense about homeopathy and other similar things. Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't exactly say sheltered from all of that, but in engineering, which is what my kind of degree, like, overarching thing was, there's not really too much to argue about. Either something is constructed and works, or it doesn't. Aha! Yes! Yes, finally! Lion Shark, I don't know if you know too much about what we are doing here on Crusader Kings 3, but a new DLC, like the first main DLC for this game, actually released today, and part of it is about like learning cultures, or like different cultures, and learning language and everything. So we had an event earlier where we were trying to learn the language of our son-in-law, which is Anglic, and he basically got to the end of the event chain and failed. So now I did ask Blue Cornflower and Upasin in the chat whether we should try and go for it again. So we have, and we've succeeded this time. Yay! So after lots of hard work, I finally learned it. Endless hours practicing accentuation, sleepless nights mimicking inflection, countless lessons mastering intonation. It was all worth it in the end. During my efforts, I looked to emulate Reeve Edfrith's accent. That is interesting. And of course, Anglo-Saxon peasants now respect me a great deal more. So when I saw that we actually accidentally married someone who was Anglo-Saxon, I knew I was going to get our character to learn Anglic, because if we're planning on taking over England, then our characters knowing Anglic is going to be a benefit, because it would allow us to communicate with like the local liege lords. So we can either say I feel accomplished, so we learn it and end our scheme, or we can send a letter, though unfortunately 57% letter comes across as dishonest mockery. Okay, there we go. So we've learnt the language. And of course we can declare wars. So Leinster, we could do a holy war for a county, I presume, because you are... Yes, you are Norse. Or Asatru. Lion Shark, where's the part where you take over England and as Wales and giving the taste of their own medicine? That is the plan. That is the plan. I will say that. So, Crusader Kings 3, what this game is about, is basically about dynasties and legacies. So we started off as what's called the Petty King of Gwynedd. Petty King is another name for a duke, so above a count but below a king. And okay, I swear I turned off... Oh no, I didn't. Okay. Yeah, sorry there, Line Shark. I do have a thing kind of stopping people from putting too many caps in as a message. But yes, the plan was, when I put this up as an option, the plan was most definitely to go as Wales and take over the British Isles. So yes, it is giving England a taste of their own medicine. Blue Cornflower, am I planning to use military or political means to gain territory? And am I going to make them all speak Welsh? Honestly, I was thinking about military means, at least to grab some of southern England. I'm not quite sure about what to do for some of the rest. And am I going to make them all speak Welsh? Well, that's the plan. That is the plan. And yes, Lion Shark, I did see the deleted message. Like, wait, really? Let's go, terminate England. Well, it's not really going to be terminated, but it is going to be absorbed into Wales. Okay, so moved by my tribulations, Lord Madog has offered me his counsel. Madog's attentions have incurred the ire of Earl Padern, so only place trust in those who deserve it. Three of us not find common ground, take heed of the warning, or defend the honour. I'll try, can the three of us not find common ground? Nah. We spent 75 prestige. So, sentence was far too harsh, so he can keep the trait just. Which does give him +1 learning. Cynical, which does increase his learning, but does have a few issues. And he could gain temperate, but no, I think we will just keep him as just. So anyway, yes, Lion Shark. The Crusader Kings 3 is about like legacies and dynasties. So we started off as the petty king of Gwynedd, and honestly, so long as you still have a family member who has land, the game technically doesn't end. Well, until you reach the end date if you've set it, and if not, it can go on for basically forever. So the idea is obviously just keep your dynasty alive and with land. I think I've shown... Okay, I'm going to move that across while I just have a look. So I think I have shown the world map before. So basically anything you see here, you can choose to play as. So we've got people like from all the way down to tiny little counties up to dukedoms, and then we've also got a few empires like the Byzantine Empire here, the Khazarias, West Francia and such. But sometimes you honestly just focus on your tiny little part of the world. Blue Cornflower, how do we gain military might? There are 2 ways. Yeah, Iceland. Yep, and we can play as them, technically, if we wanted to. So they are inhabited. They are inhabited by someone who is Catholic and Norse. Yeah, you could go and play as Iceland if you really wanted to. Though, it's like, you are obviously isolated, but that's a good thing and a bad thing. So anyway, gain military might. So, one option... let me just move that out the way once again. So you have all of these counties, and in each county you have buildings and holdings. So we can see here we have a barony, which is owned by us. So we can see here all the different little stats. So it's giving us 0.89 gold a year, I think so. It has 9 gold in loot if someone were to come and raid us, and it provides 271 levies. So the levies here are kind of the... Saying that they are peasant fighters is doing them a bit of a disservice, but it's very much kind of people drafted from the lands to fight. So while they make up the bulk of your army, they are not going to be that strong and powerful. So if we click on here, you can also see that we've got 250 people as a garrison. So that is kind of 250 people patrolling the walls of the castle and defending against sieges. So if we click here and click up to level 2, we can see here that the levies go from 175 to 325. So we gain 150 troops on that. And our garrison goes from 250 to 750. But of course we do have a few requirements. So we need to have 495 gold, and we also need to have the battlements innovation. So we can't really grow our troop size up that much on that way. The other thing that we can do, we can construct new buildings here. So we already have hillside fields, which is giving us a tiny amount of tax a month. And then we can go up here. So it starts giving us like better skirmishers, a better defender advantage because we actually have things around and know the lay of the land, and supply limits, so it can actually make sure that more people are able to be fed off what we have on the land. And then we also have here, so we could go for so right now we could construct a barracks, which just at level 1 would give us an additional 125 levies, and also a bit of additional heavy infantry damage and spearman damage. So upgraded castles means more levies or conscripts. Yep. And there are also, let me just find it. So there are bishoprics or temple holdings, as the more generic term is. And then there are also cities or baronies. So this is more complex than it was in Crusader Kings 2, because Crusader Kings 2 there was just basically essentially a slider where you could say that okay, you can pay less tax to me, you can pay more tax to me, like I want more levies from you, less or fewer levies from you. So while this says that he has 67 levies, he wouldn't actually provide that many to us. Okay, so yes, you are reporting into us. Now I just cannot remember, how do I change? There is something where I can go in and actually change the contract that I have with some of these people. Maybe it needs to be someone who's actually holding a county. There we go. Okay, it might have to be someone who's holding a county. So we can see here, this person has a standard feudal contract. So they are paying a normal amount of taxes to us and a normal amount of levies. So in his land, he has 361 people he can call up to in the event of a war, 177 levies, and 180 out of 200 light footmen. And what we get of that is 25. We get 25 levies provided to us. And that is basically 12.5% of what he has available. We could go low, so 5% or absolutely none. We could go up to 17.5%, or we could even go up to 25% and make him give us 25% of all levies he has. Why is everyone wearing a hood? Is it meant for... or is it a hood for travelling to keep out rain? I think it is honestly just the fashion, for lack of a better word. Because I know medieval England, at the very least, had, like, you often had people that would wear head coverings and the like. So anyway, my daughter-in-law of Wilhelmina has given birth to 2 sons. So So one with the comely trait, and that is actually fun. So one's got one trait and one's got the other. That's quite wait. Okay, now that could be from the legacy thing that we selected, but the fact that it's a tier 2 trait is interesting. So yes, we will just say, may you grow strong and wise. And yeah, no problem, blue cornflower. So long as I know the game pretty well, which is most of what I generally tend to play and stream, at least for the moment, I'm happy to answer questions. A new martial lifestyle perk. I think we'll do living off the land, and we'll obviously just make our way down to here. We might change our mind on which one we're going for after that. But yes, unfortunately at the moment we are being a fair bit... that's a shame. Okay, so because he's actually got 2 traits that are sinful to Catholics, that actually gives a positive opinion option for us if we were to try and claim or ask for a claim on that. And now let me see. How about this one? Oh, minus 87. Yeah, because he's got 1 virtuous trait. So that's a slight shame. Okay, so your oldest son and youngest son do have the quick trait. That could be an interesting thing. Let me actually just see. Nope, we've got no one available. Okay, no secrets are caught. Very well, you know best. We shall instead send you just to there, just to make sure. And we've got yet another grandchild. Hello, Stan. And you have got just hail, okay? Okay, oh my goodness. Okay, you see, you've had 4 kids, all daughters. So nothing of interest. You have a bad congenital trait. You are okay, and you have a lisp. That is not good. I'm honestly just waiting. I'm honestly just waiting to inherit as him and just take an absolute load of concubines just to get a son. Oh dear. Okay, so we are still stressed, unfortunately, so we'll just say, sod this, I'm off to the whorehouse. Hopefully I can say that on stream. And unfortunately we've got lover's pox. Oh dear. How? Who? Well, you are kind of visiting the brothel on a regular basis, so I think you could probably guess where that's come from. Ooh. Okay, I need to pause this. So, hybrid culture has been formed. So, formed the Tocharo Ukier hybrid culture. So this is another one of the big things for Crusader Kings 3, and is also what I'm kind of hoping to be able to do with some of the cultures in the British Isles. So let me actually have a look at that. So formed from this culture and that culture. So let me just actually have a look. Can we click to view? Yes, except it's not actually allowing us to do anything. Or is that the actual culture? So anyway, this person basically had enough kind of cohesion points from these 2 cultures to decide, or to make a decision to actually merge them together. So let's see where you are. Okay, here we are. So we've got 1 culture here and 1 culture here. So let's have a look at this. So he's taken religious patronage, xenophilic, charitable, caravaneers. Okay, so basically he's taken 4 traits from the Ukiah. Okay, he's taken 4 traits from this one. So what he has dropped is the step tolerance, which is interesting because that one gives you a bonus to different faiths. And then from this one, he has taken... Okay, so they all both had Caravaneers, Philosopher Culture, and Xenophilic. So he's basically... pronunciation is like Uiger. Okay. So... Okay, so basically he took all 4 traits from here and then added on sorry, yes, I know I'm clicking around on this. I'm just trying to... Okay, charitable, that's the one he picked up from this. Yes, I'm aware of what the ethnicity is. I just haven't heard it enough to know how to pronounce it properly. Yes, I'm aware of what's happening in China with them, very unfortunately. So anyway, he's decided to join these 2 cultures together. So they do have 2 different languages and aesthetics. So the language has been taken from this one. And he's merged the aesthetics. Everything else looks to be... Okay, yep, so he's taken the language from this one, but the heritage is from here. So that is quite an interesting option. So that could be quite interesting. And that is what I'm trying or planning to do with this, what we've got over here. Because we are, needless to say, Welsh culture. So that means we have these options. So the poet trait is more common and has additional bonuses, and means that people of this culture will perform better when they actually are given the court poet position. Concubines, so we can have we have 1 spouse and 3 concubines. We can do better in the Highlands, and we also have extra archer regiments at our disposal. Blue cornflower, yes, I've read the word in the news but not really heard people say it. Yes, I do have a tendency to... What I recently learned is called a reader's accent, where I encounter words and phrases in text before I even really hear them being spoken. So my pronunciations of some things can just be completely over the place because I pronounce them how I think they should be pronounced based on like prior experience versus how they are actually pronounced. And if we take a look down here at Cornish culture, the culture is Christian with concubines, yes, and it's not just the Welsh culture either. Gaelic, Pictish, Cumbrian, and Irish is polygamy. Irish has polygamy as an option. Norse, oddly enough, that culture doesn't. And Anglo-Saxon doesn't either. So anyway, like I was saying down here with Cornish culture, they have 3. So dexterous fishermen, so coastal advantage and supply capacity, because they obviously know how to fish from the waters. Storytellers, so guardians, ooh, that could be an interesting one to actually merge in. And ancient miners, so quarries. That's also potentially an interesting one. Oh wait, you cannot form a hybrid culture with one of the same heritage as yours. Boo. Boo, I say. A pass in, probably go to sleep. Thanks for the stream. Have fun. Take care of yourself. You too, please. Take care of yourself. And just before you go, I probably should say I have posted this on Twitter and it is on my schedule, but I will be planning on doing another Crusader Kings 3 stream on Thursday and then another one on Saturday, just because I'm so excited to get all of this done and showcase it. But yes, have a good night and I hope you start or continue feeling better. So anyway, Anglo-Saxon, we have the Witten Agamont. So we can enact the Saxon elective succession law. So a long history of holding assemblies comprised of the land's ruling potentates and such. So if we did that, we could potentially get an elective system in of some kind. City keepers. So the guild's line of buildings can be constructed 1 era early. City holdings give more popular opinion. Rulers of the culture are more likely to construct city holdings, and the architect trait provides a prestige bonus. And we have herds, so can recruit Huskarls as men-at-arms. Traits such as strong or hale are seen as prestigious. Strong trait is more common. Traits such as weak or delicate are looked down upon. Children are more likely to get rowdy and less likely to get pensive. So that looks like one I really want to merge in. So what else can we do? So Cumbrian is unfortunately similar to, or same heritage. Scottish. So we could actually go up to Scottish and get dexterous fishermen from there rather than trying to get it from the Cornish one. And hill dwellers, because we've got Highland warriors. So supply limit in hills 25%. Oh, I was looking at the wrong one. Okay, development growth. Okay, so that's about the economy versus military stuff. Strong kinship allows a culture to unlock the rectilinear... Oh, goodness. Rectilinear Shiltron innovation. Characters with the family hierarch trait are seen as prestigious and raise more levies. So what do we need to do to form a hybrid culture? Well, if I just hover over here... So form a new hybrid culture, creating a combination of aspects of both the Welsh and Gaelic cultures. So the target culture, which is Gaelic, must be present in at least one county in my realm, and the cultural acceptance of Gaelic is less than 40. So the cultural acceptance measures how accepting two cultures are of each other. So they can change from many actions, most notably wars, granting and revoking titles, and promote cultural acceptance councillor task, rather. Over time, acceptance will return to the cultural acceptance baseline if exceeded. So there can be some benefits to having options where you actually get a bonus to cultural acceptance of a culture that's dissimilar to yours, simply because it just means more kind of societal cohesion. But if your cultural acceptance is low and you've been controlling the territory for long enough, then you can obviously hybridize them and kind of pick and choose what things you want. So Irish, is there anything interesting? So pastoralists, refined poetry, which is what we've got. Monastic communities, that could also be interesting. Characters of this culture are more likely to accept taking the vows, especially underage children. So that could be a good one to also meld in to obviously have as an option to disinherit some of the younger children if we necessarily want it. So there we go. So this is automatically generated, and I presume that is obviously the Welsh word for Ireland. We have a colour for the culture, and then we can choose the ethos, where we can either choose from like R1 or the one from the culture that we're trying to merge into. So you can only choose one of these, and you can also only merge with one other culture at a time. So unfortunately, you need to spend a bit of time working through things and getting the values and such to a certain level before you can actually realistically do it. So it would cost us, if we potentially could do it, 1,000 prestige just as it currently stands. So, and we can see here, like, there are some options that are not available, and unfortunately my cat is standing in front of my monitor right now. Ollie, come on. There we go. Okay, he's moved. So, yes, so we can choose, presumably if there's a shared ethos, you can't choose something different. And of course, all of these ethoses have different options. We can either choose to have a Brythonic heritage, or we can go for the Goidelic. That doesn't seem to have anything. I don't know if that is, admittedly, could be a bit of a glitch, or it could just be that it just doesn't have any bonuses or negatives on that. And then marital, oh, not marital, martial custom. So in some cultures, this would allow you to actually have women as commanders or knights, and you could potentially switch between them if you really wanted to. So then the traditions, we need to select 5. We can have a maximum of 5. There are some cultures in the world where you can have a maximum of 6, but I think those are very, very rare. So for instance, if we wanted to, so this has already selected pastoralists for us. So if we actually remove that one, and you don't need to have all 5 if you don't want to. So we could do maritime mercantilism. I definitely want to keep longbow competitions and refined poetry, and then obviously monastic communities, and then the aesthetics. So military equipment, yeah. So we've just got the one option for this, so we don't have any options to change it. Then we can either say we want to use Welsh naming practices, Irish naming practices, or we can try and merge them together, which would be quite interesting. Just one option from architecture, fashion. So we've got continental Europe, which is probably from Wales, and then Northern European, which is probably from Ireland. Coat of arms, once again, we can either go for Welsh, we can go for Irish, or we can use coat of arms elements from both cultures. So there we go. We will discover this Irish innovation of Gavelkind. New culture will be created with us as the cultural head. Acceptance of both Welsh and Irish will be at 100%. Close family will convert, and 5 vassals will convert. So yes, that is a very excuse me, I need to probably take a drink after saying all of that. Oh. So yes, from the sounds of it, this DLC has been knowingly developed for about a year, at least. I know probably they had work started on it before Crusader Kings 3 even released. And admittedly it was probably delayed a fair bit because of, you know, the global situation, and some of it is because it honestly looks like it's just had so much work put into it. Like, we haven't even seen the Royal Court part of the Royal Court DLC yet. Okay, so Hunt Rampaging Heart. Just as my son Tadel, I think that's okay, and I crest a hill, we hear it. So we can say its path ends here. 72% slay the beast and gain hunting trophy. 27% injured, 0% we are killed. So I'm not quite sure if that 0% is it is a legitimate 0% chance, or if it is like a 0.1% chance. but let's go for it. There we go. Hunting trophy for 10 years. So that is also up here. So that gives us 0.5 prestige per month. So we return home invigorated. We are stress level 0, which is always nice to see. And what else can we do? How much would a feast be? It doesn't say. Oh wait, there it is, 100 gold. That's a bit much for me. Ooh, espionage lovers. So Mayor Kunwit has uncovered a secret held by Madog Eferthul. He is secretly taking Eferthul, the spy master. My okay, this is right. So our spy master has found out that our chancellor has taken his spy master as a lover. So she's got the fornicator trait, she's pregnant. It took me so long to realise what that trait was, because I was trying to figure out why a nutcracker on fire was the fornicator one. No, that is meant to be a representation of loins on fire. So she has 2 kids, obviously both of them known to be bastards. Neither of them have any genetic traits. He does have 2 legitimate children with his, you know, actual wife. So anyway, this is useful to know. So that gives us I think that's just a weak hook. So we could blackmail him for something. So if he declines that, we expose the fact that he has a lover. So, oh no. Okay, so if we blackmail, then we would get a weak hook and then we can use things. So we basically go to him and go, it's like, okay, yeah, we know that you have a secret. Like, if you let us, we will, or we want to be able to call in the fact that we know about this in the future. So, level 3 learning, that is nice to see. And naturally, we can get you 2 married off. So how are you doing? Still 4 kids, still all girls. And let's just check the rest of the family. You, unfortunately, well, I guess there's a potential that they have the fecund trait. You are fine. Okay, very well, you know best. You, okay, pretty, and I did notice that you are pregnant again. That could be one to keep an eye out on. Nothing, nothing. And you 2 have only just got married, so I will be hopefully expecting at least a couple of kids from you 2 in the future. There we go. My daughter Ellen has given birth to a daughter. So, okay, we're getting a few nice little genetic traits in. Okay, so basically, what I want to do before the end of this stream is hopefully get ourselves up to that 500 gold mark and create ourselves the Kingdom of Wales title, because then that will mean that the Herbers here we can potentially force vassalize, because we will be the de jure liege of them, and it also means that we can start taking ducal titles in England without too much issue. We are still on, where is it? So Confederate partition law. So there will be obviously titles disappearing to some of our younger children as we go along. But we will have to obviously manage that. But if we get the kingdom title, then the territory will remain under our control rather than splintering out. So that should be fine. And you apparently are making eyes at your daughter-in-law, I could not help but let my gaze wander over Wilhelmina's body. Ever since then, I've been able to stop thinking about her, and my lurid fantasies keep distracting me from my work. I must find some relief from this infatuation, or I shall never get anything done. So I must know if she feels the same way. So apparently I could lose a bunch of stress if we decide to pursue it, and she accepts. A little bit of fantasizing can't hurt. We could go for a trip to the brothel, or I should not objectify her, which does gain us a critical amount of stress. Let's honestly just say, let's go for a trip to the brothel, because we already have lover's pox. What's the worst that could happen? So does it actually say... Okay, no, it doesn't actually say what the modern vernacular is. So lover's pox is a herpes outbreak and is, I think, the one health condition disease that cannot actually be treated. So I do not recall if this was something that I did on stream or if it was one of my own personal games. Oi! Who are you? Start off. We don't have nearly enough troops, I don't think. I don't think we have nearly enough troops, annoyingly. But, so I had one character that actually had great pox, or syphilis, as it is now called. And I cannot remember what option I picked, but like I kind of said to the court position, I believe it was like, obviously, this is no time to be careful about treatment. It's like, just go for most experimental one. And it cured me. Great pox. So, you know, you have like chicken pox, cow pox, smallpox, and then great pox. Yeah, I know it can be, depending on accents, it can be a little bit tricky to hear what someone's saying. Oh dear. So apparently our wife appears to have lover's pox, so we can reject her, presumably under the implication that she's the one that gave it to us, or we can say that we cannot express how sorry we are. Well, I mean, we both have lover's pox. What is honestly the worst that can really honestly happen? So we are actually at 430 gold. And I'm surprised that we're actually somewhat in decent health. So obviously we are stoic, which is... Oh, okay, our wife is infirm, so she may not be around for much longer. But she is also a poet, which is nice to see. She's French Catholic. And one more martial. So yes, this has been, I would say, kind of just a general setup stream for us. So we know that we can marry to her birth. Yes, that's just the same claim. Single county claim again. Killer in our midst. The smell hits me before the door is opened. A heavy and meaty odour that permeates the area. It is the stench of the newly dead. Another murderer, my lord. Obeko wipes his bloody hands on an apron as he stands up after looking over the body. We must stop this senseless killer. So I will scour the castle, bury the body, and forget this travesty, but everyone will lose 15 opinion of us. Or, as my court position, you should study the bodies. I mean, you are a renowned physician, so I think you should actually study the bodies, because if we investigate potentially the cause of how they died, we might be able to narrow down who has the potential and the motive to kill someone like that, so we'll have to see. Okay, some more undisciplined recruits. So let's just do teaching what I know about command again. And advice rejected. This does seem to just be taking so much time, unfortunately. So let me just actually just check what's going to be going. Cadet. I'm gonna have to practice that, I think. I'm gonna have to practice my Welsh pronunciations. So available perk. We've just got one left on there, and then we can get strategist. Okay, I'm gonna set it up to 5 speed because we should be almost there. There we go. Okay, so murders at court, pray for the nameless dead. Parts of a body were found this morning, my lord, my knight Orbeko says, gesturing to the table before us. Blood pools on the table around small mounds of flesh. Strings of tissue rests in dark ooze. So I will pray for the victim, in which case we gain 50 piety. Make sure everyone is accounted for. So direct vassal opinion will be minus 10 for 5 years. Every craven courtier will gain 20 opinion, but everyone else will lose 20 opinion. We can say double the guards, in which case, yeah, we lose money. Has anyone seen anything? We can spend 150 prestige. I think I will say make sure everyone is accounted for. Heresy, Cathars in Neustria. So Duke Gilbert of Neustria has announced that he and his vassals have converted to Catharism. So the nobles of Neustria no longer consider the clergy to be righteous and true. As Cathars, they believe their new faith properly aligns with the will of God, and they are distancing themselves from their former religious institutions. So this is, as we can see here, one of the vassals in West Francia. And I know in Crusader Kings 2, Cathar was one of the more interesting, like, kind of lesser Christian religions to go for because of this right here, because they actually go for equality in terms of inheritance. So it is foolish to deny skilled people a role in government purely because of their gender. So if you were lucky enough to, like, get this pop up about the Cathar heresy or some such, you could adopt it, and if you were lucky, that meant that you could actually put in equal inheritance rights. So there are obviously different options. So one of them is that adherents can decide to end their life when old, incapable, or near death. Doing so does not incur any of the normal penalties. And it also gives a 50% reduction to their short reign duration. Gnosticism. So other Gnostic and dualist faiths are righteous instead of hostile or evil. So basically they consider them kind of not astray, but not wrong in their beliefs either. And then pacifism, cannot declare holy wars or raid. So we could just say what twisted mockery of our faith that is. So, or we could convert, close family may convert, and vassals may convert. No, we'll just say what twisted mockery of faith is this. But honestly, if it's going to start spreading like that, it may end up being the dominant religion anyway. Ooh. Oh dear. Okay, so our daughter-in-law is one of the victims. No, we won't pray. Gosh. Yeah, I will say, has anyone seen anything? A letter is waiting for me as I return to my chambers, written in red ink. No, in blood. You will end this search at once. Nothing good can come from uncovering my identity, and I will make sure that nothing good comes your way if you keep trying. So it looks like the writing of daughter-in-law of my third son. Oh dear. So yes, we'll confront her about it. There we go. Secret exposed. When I finally track my daughter-in-law Tutor down, she does not even try to run from me. Hello, Waldry. It is about time you found me. I take it you enjoyed my gifts. So you will be punished for your crimes so we can imprison her. An eye for an eye, a life for a life. All close family members and spouses will lose 50 opinion of you. Unlawfully executed family. No, I think I would say that multiple murders is not unlawful. We can say just go free. Or it must be boring committing those acts alone. So we would gain the trait statistic. So intrigue +2, prowess +4, natural dread +35. General opinion down, sinful to Catholics. But it would mean that we could use hostile schemes against our own children. So if we wanted a quick and easy way to potentially bump off some of our younger heirs, that could be an option. But no, we'll put her in jail. Yeah, she is no longer our antiquarian. Propose an alliance. Yes, actually I will accept that, because if that gives us a positive opinion with him, then it might make him more willing to become our vassal. So surety of supply, so this is just making sure that our armies have enough stuff. So 57% well-provisioned armies, 44 stress because we're impatient. Stockpile supplies, or accustomed to foraging but gain 44 stress because we're diligent. I swear those two traits just seem to be completely at odds with each other. Yep, there we go. Armies lacking stuff. So, let me just see. So we could request an excommunication. Request divorce. Yeah, okay. 100 piety and 50 renown. Let's do it. So, I have decided to grant your request to divorce Kenneth and their wife Tutor on the grounds of suspected adultery. I really wasn't suspected adultery the reason I wanted them divorced, but never mind. Yeah, okay, I was expecting that one. Oh my goodness, okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, so not only is she your lover, but from the looks of it, you've been getting very, very, very busy. 5 children. 5. Wow. Are any of them actually any good? Like, do any of them have any genetic traits? No. Okay, so this is because the youngest one, that is double F, is same as the English F as in first. So Fern Vale. A Fern Vale from the looks of it. So, oh, and you do actually have, nope, okay, that's the one that we just know about it. So we imprison, yeah, okay, yep, there we go. Who could have known? Okay, our councillor has died, so we want to... Okay, that was our bishop. We already have a new bishop. So you've been looking up Great Pox. They might have called it that because it causes a single big and deep ulcer. Yes, that is potentially an option. It's like, I know there's some speculation that, like, chickenpox was called that because it was a, like, mild version compared to the other pox illnesses, and cowpox is named because you get that from cows. Yeah, life pro tip, if you ever go back in time, find a milkmaid who has cowpox and get yourself infected with it, because cowpox is actually the same family as smallpox, and historically, if you had cowpox, you would be protected from smallpox. So rather than risking the old-fashioned methods of trying to infect yourself with smallpox and risking getting a full-blown version of the disease, just go and get yourself infected with cowpox instead. Just a little life pro tip in case anyone ever goes back in time. Hey, strategist. Okay, and 10 gold. Yep, sure, whatever. So we are at 564 gold. So that means... Dun, 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 dun. Create the title Kingdom of Wales. So we now have a royal court. So, as king, you have new duties and responsibilities. You will now be expected to regularly hold court, solving the disputes of the realm and letting your courtiers take part in your daily routines. Lord Madog of Furlix is looking sternly at me in a direct, almost lecturing way. Perhaps there is also some pride in his eyes. He starts to unfold a beautiful banner bearing the emblem of House Aberfour. One of the ways in which the world will now judge your rule is by how you adorn and care for your royal court. I have taken a liberty to have this made as a gift to mark the beginning of your royal tenure. So there we go. We've got our dynasty banner and a house banner. So durability of 60 years for that one and 75 years. So if we fulfill the requirements, which I presume is obviously being of, yep, belong to the house and belong to the dynasty. So the dynasty banner gives us plus 0.1 prestige a month, plus 0.02 renown a month, minus 1% building cost, and court grandeur bonus of 1. Whereas the house banner gives us 0.15 prestige, 0.06 renown, plus 3 independent ruler bonus, and court grandeur bonus plus 2. So this is inherited along with the Kingdom of Wales. Inherited along with the Kingdom of Wales. So, here we go. Let's see our royal court. Look at this. So I think honestly this is part of the reason why royal court took so long. Because they actually did 3D models. Like, we obviously already had the 3D models of all the characters and everything. But look at this. I am going to have to snip this. I'm going to have to make this as a snippet to put on my channel. So yes. So we can see here, if I actually go back to the first one. So we actually have, like, Obeko, our court physician and knight. He is present. We can see him. He is talking with our son and our other son there. And we have our daughter and a guest speaking here. We have our archbishop kind of just standing on the sidelines. We have another one of our knights. Our son and knight, who is also holding a spear. So potentially a kind of bodyguard-esque ruler. Oh, wait. There was someone all the way back. Okay, no, that was just a window I saw. That was just a window I saw. So throne of view. And we have Lord Madog talking to us. So our Chancellor, Vessel and Knight. And then over here we have our player heir, who has been given the nickname the Foolish. Probably because he decided that he needed to kill his younger brother. And here we have our granddaughter, grandson, and another grandson. So this is our granddaughter from Ellen. Our grandson from Mervyn. And our grandson Elustan from Tudwell. And then we have one of our mayors talking to another one of our mayors. So yes, this is all very, very much like, I just, yeah. So, and of course, what we can also do, like, we can hide the characters so we can actually see, because all the artifacts and everything you will see here as well. So obviously you've got yourself and everything. You can hide the UI, so you can take a load of photos and show things off. Take a screenshot. Oh yes, yes indeed. So we want to obviously exit photo mode. No free camera, unfortunately not. It doesn't look like it, but to be honest, I know it's bad saying this because it's obviously one of these options that you would expect to be in the game, but given this, I think there's going to be modders coming in and putting a free camera in. So, and this is the other half of the complexity of the DLC. Yeah, it is disappointing there's no free camera. I mean, maybe modders will put it in, maybe they'll honestly decide that there's enough demand from it for people that they're gonna put a team to dedicate some time to it. Maybe the free camera is in another DLC. Oi! Oi! Behave. We appreciate Paradox here, even if we don't necessarily respect them. So anyway, we have a court grandeur of 25. Our baseline is 2. So we will lose not quite a quarter a month. So the baseline will be reached in 8 years. So the court is 2 levels above its expected court grandeur level. So basically, because we have just become a king, we are... we're basically not expected to have that great thing. So we can select what court type we want. So we are a warlike one at the moment. So level 1 gives us knight effectiveness plus 10%. Yeah, okay, so here we are. We are at level 3, but it is obviously going to decrease. Yeah, so there we go. Then when we get to level 4, which is here, well, if we have a 30 plus court grandeur, then we would get powerful vassal councillor levy base contribution. That is a mouthful, plus 10%. Men at arms counter efficiency at level 5, 6, 7. Sorry, yeah, I don't know what it is, but I always have an issue distinguishing between 7 and 8 in Roman numerals, so I always need to count. Oh, actually, so it does say it here. So there we go. Unlock the Bestow Royal Favour Councillor task. Unlock the Manage Royal Guards. So we could actually get some Royal Guards in. Level 4, which I read out. Level 5. Courtiers who have lived in the Royal Court for 5 years gain a special trait based on the court type. Level 6 unlocks the Convince de Jure Territory Councillor task. Level 7, offer guardianship acceptance for vassals plus 20, imprison chance plus 10%, and men-at-arms counter efficiency plus 10%. Courtiers who have lived in the Royal Court for 5 years gain a more powerful special trait based on the court type. Grandeur level 9, offer guardianship acceptance for vassals plus 20, plus 15% imprison chance, and plus 5% monthly renown. And level 10, size of men-at-arms regiments plus 1. So anyway, we can see here, last century fashion, so it doesn't cost us anything. So we could go up to level 2, which is outmoded, decent, stylish, or haute couture. And we can also see as we're changing it, so this is our baseline court grandeur at the moment. And even just by selecting this one, which costs us 0.2 gold a month, it actually increases our court grandeur bonus by 4, so that gives it up to 6. And then we also get courtiers and guests plus 0.2 prestige a month. So courtiers dress according to convention, which is safe if not creative. Courtiers turn heads when they visit towns and cities. Courtiers nimbly update their wardrobe with the seasons, abandoning old garments when a new style catches on. Stylish fashion. Often this court style spread across the world and influences other courts. And haute couture. This court is considered a stylistic innovator. Servants dress like other realms' rulers, and their liege will be immortally known for their dress sense. We've also got options for how much food, and what type of food rather. So modest food, decent food, like bland food. No one looks forward to eating in this court, but the company makes up for it. All the way up to exotic foods. Then we have very few servants, all the way up to endless servants. And then minute lodgings. So this is basically a kind of like a dorm or barracks where people are obviously just expected to kind of sleep together, and it is very much a situation where it's like, yeah, you've got a bed, what are you complaining about? Space for any courtier to have their own room, so that's a small step up. So guests can stay longer, and guest acceptance to join schemes gives +5. So we got middling lodgings, so basically bunking together, your own room, but you probably just have like a little fireplace. Middling lodgings, you got some space to kind of put your clothes and such. Spacious lodgings, you get like a larger room, a wardrobe and such. And then grand lodgings, which is basically almost on par with what the ruler themselves has. So, and then obviously diplomatic court as well. So increased offer vassalage acceptance scaled by grandeur. So we could change that. For now, actually, I will go for... Oh, so the food one actually increases the stress lost as well. I do wonder if the courtiers and guests also applies to us. But anyway, at the moment, this is costing us basically nothing. So what we could do... So, outmoded fashion... Modest food... Few servant. And do we want minute lodgings or... Let's actually just see. I'm just basically testing around with this and seeing what options we have. So that would put us up, and yeah, so that would actually make our baseline so +2, so 6, 14, 22, yeah, 26, so that would actually put us just above, and that would cost us 1.2 gold a month. Yeah, let's turn all these down. Minute lodgings and very few servants, so we do keep level 1, I think, for now, and at 0.4 gold a month. Like, no one's really expecting too much about us. So if we change this, we cannot change again for 12 months, and the new set of amenities will cost 0.4 gold a month. Yes, there we go! We have changed our court amenities. So we now are slightly fashionable, and we are providing slightly better food. And the last thing, court artefacts. So large wall. So do we want the house banner, or do we want... Oh goodness, okay, that's a masterwork one. Yes, the banner of the Aberfour house, a symbol of the authority of the family and its scions. Or the dynasty. Now the thing is, we're always going to be of the same dynasty. We're going to change... Well, I mean, potentially change the house. No, actually the other way around. Yes. Let's do that one. There we go. And... Okay, so we've got some pedestals, so we can't actually put anything up there. Small wall artifact. So yes, let's put this one there as well. So it would have been nice if we could kind of... Okay, there is space for a small wall ornament there. So what I'm actually going to do is click the hold court button, and if you will give me a couple of minutes, my cat has been very, very patiently waiting for his food. So I will just leave this here for the moment while I go and get him his supper. I shouldn't be too long, and then we can finish up this and settle as a good place for the end of the stream today, and then we can prepare or leave it in preparation for Thursday's stream. Okay. Edie is nomming away on his supper. So we can come in here and do our first session of holding court. Oh, in order to be a successful ruler, I must actually rule on the various dilemmas and situations which arise within my sphere of influence. By officially inviting all my subjects to travel to my castle. Okay, there's a typo there. To travel to my castle and petition me for aid, I will be able to stay informed, sway the balance of power, and visibly show the world that I am in charge. So we are doing this obviously from the perspective of a ruler, but you can actually do this. There is an option to do this from the perspective of a vassal, and obviously if you are a king under an empire or an emperor, then I imagine you are able to both hold court yourself because you are a king or queen, unless you have a court where you can listen to people's requests, and you also have the option to talk to your emperor or empress and do things that people do to you. So we will increase our court grandeur, we'll invite our guests and subjects to petition us for assistance, we might learn of exclusive opportunities, we might be able to influence situations in foreign realms, you may gain additional court grandeur, and you might gain or lose opinion, prestige, gold, and more. So this will cost us 100 prestige, and we can do it once every 5 years. So here we go. So I'm presuming there is kind of meant to be a little bit more kind of pomp and ceremony and circumstance. I can't quite figure out how to get the characters back, unfortunately. I can't quite figure out how to get the characters back. Whoops. So there was, oh. That was not what I wanted. Help. Where's the call button? Help. Whoops. Oh wait, here it is. Okay, resume court event, but I can't seem to get the characters back. Okay, never mind. So sitting on my throne, I gesture for my guards to open the doors of the hall. A stream of people file in, some lining up in front of my throne while others move out of the way so they can simply observe the proceedings. After several moments, all movement in the chamber has ceased. All faces turn towards mine expectantly. In front of me, I count 3 petitioners lined up in an orderly row, waiting for me to call on them. A cog button, yes, but that is just for the game kind of general settings. Lineage, go to capital, open encyclopedia, unpause the game, change the speed. There is another option up there. Okay, yes, this is your throne room. Yes, hold court. Okay. Open the throne room. Yes, okay. Yes, I can hold court. Yep. Open the court artifacts tab, yes. Yep. That is the end of your tour. So, no, unfortunately, I can't see a way to get those characters back. But anyway, gesture for the first person in line to approach. So the man who approaches is clearly a commoner. My lord, he begins his speech, I represent the local community of Aberfraw. In the last few months, our cemeteries have been plagued with the disappearance of bodies. Oh dear. All have been dug up and left no trace. At first we feared wild animals or obscure powers at work, but your own acquisition, or Becker, was caught red-handed hauling the dead away for his experiments. Please put a stop to this blasphemy. So, studying the human body is a sad necessity. So, the earldom of Unismon gains encouraged grave robbing for 10 years, which is minus 25 public opinion. Obeko gains 50 intrigue and 50 learning lifestyle experience. 15% chance of... Yeah, this is a problem with actually playing things on the day of release. Sometimes there's small little errors. We can say guards, arrest the grave robber. So imprison him, and as I have a fair reason, no one will think me of a tyrant. Rebecca loses 30 opinion, and the earldom gains safe cemetery, so that's plus 25. We can tell Rebecca will just cut it off, so he'll lose 10 opinion of us, won't go into prison, and they will gain safe cemeteries. We could also say, why didn't you invite me? So we gain 20 dread. We spend 6 court grandeur. And you know what? We'll just tell him to cut it off. Okay, the next petitioner is evidently somewhat of a stranger in this court, as I did not recognise him, and the eyes of Marshal Earl Padern had been on them since they first entered my court. So they are a wandering zealous adventurer. They are Welsh, but they are also, well, they are Catholic Welsh. So they are our culture head, but they are not, like, unlanded in Barracks. So he does belong to some of our territory. He's just kind of someone who's a bit unknown. Oh, ooh, you do have the strong trait. Sadly, that's not a one of the inheritable ones here. So, my lord, I have come to declare that the people of Lordship of Furlix are refusing to pay the taxes you have levied upon us. In times past, our land and people were granted rights and privileges which your recent exactions ignore. We request that you address our concerns fairly or else. So we can tell our marshal to imprison them. So 46% the upstart peasants are defeated, or 53% that our marshal is unable to defeat them. Control level will change by -50, and tax revolt -40 popular opinion for 5 years. Trick the ringleaders into an ambush, so that's a 64% chance. Diplomacy challenge, 53% chance. It sounds to me like you might be misinterpreting some charters. So 57% on a stewardship thing. Or give them what they want, why do I care? So we would gain 88 stress because we're diligent, and they would gain tax relief for 5 years. So which one is honestly the best one? So that would give us 100 intrigue lifestyle or stewardship. Okay, honestly, I think I would rather go for the stewardship. Nope, tax revolt continues. My lord, my steward, Major Rudog, takes the floor. I have an idea to improve taxation. You could send surveyors to question your subjects about every property, its name, owner, extension and value, and how many people and animals live there. Okay, the Doomsday Book. Basically the Doomsday Book. So very well, proceed with the survey. Will cost 75 gold, and it will take some months to complete. If I want to improve taxation, I could just ask for more taxes. Each of your vassals pays 5 gold to you, but we gain extra taxes for 2 years. Or it's not worth it, in which case 132 stress because we're both ambitious and diligent. Yeah, very well, proceed with the survey. As the last petitioner departs, various courtiers follow them out the room, having business to attend elsewhere. Others remain, talking amongst themselves about the recent proceedings. Soon the ceremonial formality of the proceedings has dropped away entirely, with the hum and bustle of normal courtly life taking its place. There we go, my business here is done. Ah, there we go. There we go. Okay, so that looks like it was either kind of a little bit of a glitch or honestly just... Okay, so that is photo mode there. Yep, so cannot hold court, but we can have a look. So here we go, court grandeur 25, baseline of 13. So yeah, that is at least the beginnings of what we can see on that. So before we wrap up, let's just see. Offer vassalage, you will not accept, but you're only -3. So if I were 157 gold, okay, no. So let's actually just get you in on low feudal obligations, because then that will mean, there we go, I accept your gracious offer of vassalization. And there we go, we have a united Kingdom of Wales. So let's just have a look here. So we have obviously the de jure duchies and the kingdom titles, so we do technically own a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of England. That is not de jure part of Wales, but this is, let me just click away to that, but this will slowly drift into the de jure Okay, so it may not actually show. I think there is, it is 100 years to officially become de jure part of a new, like, duchy or kingdom. So that little bit will slowly start to basically become de jure part of Wales. Basically, when you hold a bit of land that is not typically supposed to be yours for 100 years, then it becomes de jure part of it just because you've held it for so long. So, let me actually just have a look at what the Vikings have been up to. So, Jorvik has been eating away at Northumbria quite a lot there, and they've also taken a tiny bit of Ireland. And we have this person of, I'm just going to say the Isles, because I think that is the English term, so I'm presuming, of course, that is their main title. So they've come down here and taken a bit of Ireland as well. And then his brother of, okay, so primary title, the Isle of Man, has taken, again, a tiny little bit. So it does say that their military strength is inferior, is similar, and is similar because, oh wow, okay, 20 years and Jorvik has only lost like not even 2,000 of their special soldiers. But so the person who was originally in charge died from his wounds on 7th of September 883, so 3.5 years ago. And then her father died under mysterious circumstances. Oh my goodness. And then we have this little 12-year-old girl in charge. And her sister owns a tiny bit of land, though she is also wounded. And apparently at 10 years old, she has become so stressed out that she basically runs down, like her method of stress relief is to run down to the market and spend pennies on pretty things. You, interestingly, did not gain anything, even though you are... Ah. Right. Okay, you are... Okay, the youngest two are illegitimate. And then the 5-year-old here, we basically know nothing about her. But yeah, Jorvik is run by children. Jorvik is run by children. The Isles, okay, is run by an adult who has a 15-year-old daughter. So inheritance is kind of secured there. The Isle of Man, 45 years old. A son who's 18, just married. And a 13-year-old daughter who is also strong. That is very interesting that all of these Vikings are getting that. So we can lawfully imprison our son. Family members can get married. Did you not? Oh, yes, I remember now, because yes, because I imprisoned your previous wife. Yes. So let's actually see. Can we get someone good for you? Okay, so you are 34 years old. Oh, 22 with a genius trait. That could be interesting. Anyone particularly else? Yeah, you know what? I'm going to try and get the genius trait in. So we'll send the proposal for that and see what happens. You can get married because, oh yes, your spouse died. didn't she? Yes. Yes, she did. You are 28 years old. And let's see. Let's get you two married. We can take a concubine because apparently there is someone who is eligible. Oh, yes. Okay, no, we don't want to take her. Can transfer vassalage. So that is just making sure that... there we go. So it's not potentially necessarily de jure, but... So that is Petty Kingdom of Mercia, de jure. And this is part of the Principality of Powys. So that is owned by me. So we could do a little bit of cleanup for vassalage by giving someone else that, but we won't do that for the moment. Powerful vassal. Yes, that is actually probably a good point. We should look at... Okay, everyone considers themselves a powerful vassal, basically. And this... or... So basically the Duke of de Herbus has basically considers himself a powerful vassal, but he doesn't really have the stats to back that up. Rather unfortunately so he will just have to manage. So we do have someone who is slightly better at martial. Again, someone slightly better at intrigue. Someone who is very good at intrigue, very good at stewardship. And thing is, do I want to swap you over because you have one? Anyway. So yes, we are slightly in debt because we saved up all of our money to become a king. Royal Court, since you've last attended, one new situation has appeared. Okay, I presume that is... Okay, that is going to be slightly annoying if that kind of pings up every single time there is an issue that you can do if you can't actually do it. Yeah, like here. Like... Oh, wait, okay, this is completely different. Okay, this is not holding court, this is actually someone coming up to specifically petition us. Okay. So, Chancellor approaches me during a brief lull, gestures to a less populated spot in the room and follow him there. State of the castle, noticed a horrific smell coming from the latrines below a floor below. So, the last option, so just plug a hole in, will be chosen for you in 180 days. Okay, so I'll ensure the problem gets fixed as soon as possible, costs 50 gold. Stewardship. So my steward can handle this matter. 42%. Rudog haggles well and saves you money. So we lose 15 gold rather than 50. Or a 57% chance that he ends up spending more than necessary. So we lose 75. Yeah, go on. Here's 50 gold. Oh, yeah. That is at least the beginnings of Crusader Kings 3 Royal Court. And let's just get an antiquarian in. So unfortunately the best one that we have is our son, so we will appoint him. And then once we get some more gold, so basically once we get 100 gold we will be able to commission an artifact. We do not have any artifact claims, unfortunately. So artifact claims are simpler than those for title claims. They either exist or they don't. They are not inherited past the first generation. So we can't get a claim to... Well, seeing as I know this exists in the game, we can't get a claim to, say, Excalibur, and then we die, and then our next character keeps that claim. No, it's only for us. So I wonder, just one last thing. Artifact ownership. There we go, has any artifact. So, is this everyone in... Oh, no, there we go. So that was the top realm, so that is the... Only show characters if they are in your top realm. So that was only characters that are in the Kingdom of Wales. And here we have them all. So let's see, has a court inventory. So can we actually see what some of these people have is my main question. Yes, there is an inventory button here. So we've got a book about books, a plain tome that shows an excellent understanding of scholarly matters as it touches upon subjects such as tome collections. So that is a trinket. So I'm not quite sure if this is color-coded to anything. Let's have a look at you. A weapon. There we go. So we've got someone who's got a weapon here, which gives them a bit of prowess and personal scheme power. What do you have? Oh, you've got a fair few things. This is nice. So you have a crown. Okay, so right, so it looks like orange is kind of base level. It's like it's an interesting thing, nice to have, not particularly special. You've got blue, which is famed, so this is something that has a bit of history to it. And then you've got masterwork, which is, from the looks of it, the fact that it's a crown and scale armor is probably something that's been commissioned specifically. So yes, this is very fun. Masterwork trinket. Yes, these are all very, very interesting. Ooh, and that's also an interesting thing there. So there's a lip icon on some people's portraits. You can see that they know, like, multiple languages, and apparently this person can learn 8 foreign languages. So obviously his like native language, mother tongue, and then you can learn 8 other languages. And there is actually an achievement in the game for knowing 10 languages. I'm not sure if that counts your mother tongue as one or not, or if you have to actually know 10 foreign languages. But yes, there is an achievement there. That is just a bog standard one. The Hashemite Romance. Oh, a truly epic poem of the glorious Hashemite family, commissioned by Sheikh Mohammed and enriched by vibrant illustrations of his glorious ancestors and their deeds. The cover is wood that has been painted to display a repeating image of rose flowers. Yes, I'm going to have to stop, because otherwise I am going to just... Yeah, I'm just going to go through every single little one everyone has. So, okay, I think, yeah, let's save the game. Let's save the game, exit to the main menu, and leave our current ruler, his wife, and current heir. So, that was, at least for me, very, very fun. Very, very exciting to actually get the court ready, so we'll be able to do a deeper dive into that on Thursday, start getting potentially and hopefully some more court artifacts around, be able to commission someone to make us like a crown, maybe a ceremonial weapon, maybe a bit of armor or some such. And hopefully we'll be able to start making our way into England, carving out territory for the Welsh, and just basically starting to get to the option to create a melting pot or hybrid culture. So I have enjoyed this. I have enjoyed this very much. I hope everyone else has. Yep, thank you, Blue Cornflower. I shall hopefully see you again on Thursday. Thank you also everyone else who's popped into chat and everyone who's been watching this. So yes, back again on Thursday at 6 PM UTC, like this one. We'll be continuing for about another 3 hours perhaps, like this one, and then hopefully an uber mega long stream on Saturday, as is my usual, at 1:30 p.m. UST. So I hope to see at least some people there. Oh, yes, it has been Crusader Kings 3, The Royal Court. Thank you very much, everyone, and I will see you next stream.